For cheap and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, check out EasyMut.com and use code SPORTS for 5% off your entire order. What's up, guys? It's Duke back here from SportsGamers.com. Today's Madden 21 tip: favorite passing plays in the entire game that's going to allow you guys to destroy every coverage with the same easy, simple setup. Guys are looking to improve your passing game against all the meta defenses. You'll see this is a great video for you to watch. Now, I'm going to be in the Washington Redskins playbook. I like a lot of their empty sets. The QB draw is really effective this year, so you guys can have some empty sets with good passing plays. It's really going to improve your game. I'm going to look at this play example, the gun empty DC, and the play we're going to look at is the deep end. You want to have, I would say, the left outside receiver from this play. This should be your fastest receiver. Also, if he has at least 90 deep route running, that is very helpful because this year, guys, 90 plus deep route running is going to allow these deep post routes to get open pretty much every time against man. They get better separation. Now you guys can see Cooks and Fuller, they both have 88 deep route running, so it's not quite 90. But the thing is, it can still work even if you don't have 90. It's just that 90 will guarantee that they get open. So let's get into the play here and show you guys how it works against all sorts of coverages. I want to start with man-to-man first and go from there. So as you guys know, a lot of people are still playing man coverage just non-stop. And this is a great play to attack that because you have several routes over the middle of the field that will beat, man-to-man with the safeties deep, or even if they throw the purple zones out there like we are here. So what I like to do with this play is I always like to have the post route running to the short side of the field because it can bomb coverages like cover 3 and cover 4. So I want them to go into the short side, so I line it up on the wide side. I also like to go ahead and slant the slot receiver, and then I like to flat route the running back. And you can also flat the tight end if you want, but that's not necessary. So before we go any further, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying my content. Also make sure to turn your notifications on so you'll be notified when our videos go live daily. We do tips and gameplay for Madden 21. Also, if you guys are really rocking me, smash that like button. Now, if you want to get better at Madden 21, if you want some premium content, we do have the best Madden 21 tips and ebooks available on SportsGamers.com. We have offensive and defensive schemes in our ebooks. Plus, we do the Madden Vault, which is 4 to 6 premium tips every week to keep you guys ahead of the curve to really, take your game to the next level. If that's something you guys are interested in, make sure to check out SportsGamers.com. So let's look at how this play works against man coverage. Now, if they're going to keep the safety deep, the post is really not going to be much of a threat. But what I really do like about this play is just the reads over the middle field are really easy. The slant route is going to be open right off rip. And that's, something that's going to be there very, very consistently, especially if you have a good receiver like a slot-o-matic or just, a good receiver in general in the slot. These routes are going to whoop man coverage, and they get open in a spot that purples will not defend. Now, the great thing about this is that if they do, say they manly guard that route, that slant, what I really like about this play is that you have that in route coming back by Fuller a little bit later in the play. Generally speaking, they're going to be on a safety. So if they come down in a slant, that deep post is probably going to be a touchdown over the top. But even if it isn't, this in route, you can just throw it as a low ball as it breaks back open over the middle. And you can click on a possession catch that pretty much every single time. Now, what a lot of people are going to do, though, is if you keep hitting these routes, they're going to be on the safety, right? So if you keep hitting these short routes over the middle, one too many times, they're probably just going to come down and sit down underneath. And once that happens, that's when you can hit these post routes over the top for one-play touchdowns. And like I said, if you have 90-plus deep route running at this receiver, he's going to get open no matter what every time, whether they press you or not. But even if you don't, like I said, Cooks does it. But just generally speaking, a good receiver is going to get open on this. You guys can see you got a really, really good release. And at this point, you just want to throw a bullet pass, and you want to rack catch it just like this, and it's going to be an easy touchdown over the top. Again, look how much separation we have. I'm just trying to zoom out here so you can see. That's a good 3 to 4 or 5 yards of separation, and we can easily rack catch that for a score, and that's a one-play touchdown. So they can't really come underneath to pick up, your underneath reads because then we'll just hit them over the top. So that makes this play really, really effective against man because, again, guys, most people with their purple zones, they're playing man coverage or they're just playing with the safeties deep. They are not going to be able to guard the middle of the field too well. Everyone's so concerned about taking away the sidelines for crossers and corners in man. The middle of the field is definitely something you can easily attack. Now, this big nickel over G is also a very, very good defense. A lot of people play this as well. And I want to now take a look at how to attack zone coverage. Let's start with this cover 2 defense, which is can be pretty effective this year when people know how to adjust from it. But this play, what I like about it is it also really beats zone extremely well too. So one thing I will say is if they're playing a lot of zone, I would recommend, instead of having your tight end on that delayed route, I would put both the tight end and the running back on flat routes, as I'm trying to do here. Just sometimes my hot routes get messed up in practice mode. I couldn't tell you why. But the reason why I like to do this is if they're playing with their zone drops, a lot of people in cover 2 or even cover 3 or cover 4 will either set the cloud flats for cover 2 back 20, 25 yards, or if they're in cover 3 or cover 4, set the curl flats back 20 or 25 yards. So that just gives you flat work on both sides of the field to attack that. Now here we didn't do that. So if you don't see them doing that, that's when you attack the middle of the field with the low ball to either the slant or the in route. You basically just make them choose who they're going to guard and throw it the other way. So like here, I saw that the flats were reasonably covered. So this guy was dropping back a little bit deeper on the post. I just lowballed this in route. Now, if he stayed up on my slant route, I could have thrown the post right behind his head and split the seams. Also, the spacing on this play is so good because then this in route's coming behind those routes a little bit later. So you can't guard all three. It's just not possible. And like I said, if they're going to change their zone drops so that they got the flats dropping back really far, like here, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put my flats on 20, 25. You can just throw to the running back or the tight end on the quick flat at will. And, this year, like I said, I've said this so much already, but flats will pick you up a good 10 to 15 plus yards. They are extremely, extremely, extremely consistent. Alright guys, so I turn my zone drops on. I do want to show you guys if they do turn their zone drops on that these flats are absolutely killer. So that generally is my first read. If I see zone, if I see that their zones are dropping back too far, I'm going to throw it in the flats every play. And that's not just for, zone coverage, cover 2, but it's also for cover 3. At the same time though, I'm also just reading this middle read guy right here, because if he wants to stay low, I'm on underneath reads. Like I said, I can just split the seam on that post or the in. That's coming back over the middle of the field a little bit later in the play. So let's switch it up to cover 3 or cover 4 now. I do want to show you guys how we can attack with this. Now, this deep post route can be a one-play touchdown against cover 3 or cover 4 if you do have the time, so keep that in mind. It will get open. I do want to show this just quickly, how the flats get open, and then I'll go over the post and the other reads too. But again, we just put the slot in the slant, and then we flat our tight end and our running back, and that's really all we're looking to do. I am in cover 3 right here, as you guys can see here. And I do have my curl flats turned on for my zone drops, so they're dropping back pretty far. So you should see that, we're able to attack these guys pretty easily in the flat. It's literally just throw it, turn upfield. Like I said, that's free yardage. Now, what's going to happen here against these cover 3s and cover 4s is if you do have the time, you're going to see, and we don't even have to really make any hot routes. I mean, you could just keep the delay routes if you want some extra blocking. But this in route is going to pull the zones down to where you guys can see. You can throw this over the top flat route so you can stay in the pocket a little bit easier, roll out. But as you guys could see, if you take a look at the replay here, I kind of got an underthrow, but I guess I was out of range, but still we're able to catch it. That in route is going to make the zone, the deep zone on that side of the field where the deep post is running, so the right side of the screen, it's going to make this corner, it's going to stay too low. So you guys can see, he's kind of just in no man's land. So once this receiver passes the safety up, you can kind of just lead it out, bullet pass, rat catch for a touchdown. Now that works against cover 3 and cover 4. Let me switch up to cover 4 here. I'm going to turn my zone drops off. And like I said, you don't even have to do any hot routes on this play to beat them over the top for a one-play touchdown against cover 3 and cover 4. I still do like the slant and the flash just to give me more options. But if your sole purpose is just to bomb them over the top, you really don't even have to make any hot routes on this play. But personally, I wouldn't recommend doing that because you really never know. If they could make some adjustments and they might take it away. So it's always good to have another option on the play. Dumb out, you can just throw it right by them, and it's an easy one-play touchdown over the top. So I really, really like this play because it gives you a one-play touchdown option against a lot of zones. It destroys man. It lets you attack the flats, and it just also has simple reads over the middle that you can use to dissect any coverage. So it's a very versatile play, and like you guys see here, if you want to keep the delay routes for blocking, they'll give you extra time, but then they will release into flats and give you a little read later in the play. But as you guys can see here, just look at how this deep post just dumbs out these zones. This is cover 4, it just runs right by them, and we're in there for a one-play touchdown. So definitely think this is a play you guys should add into your arsenal. It's extremely hard to stop. It can beat every coverage in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this tip. Till next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here. Catch me later for some more great Madden 21 tips.